Do you see what's behind me? It's a tiny creek. You know what time it is, baby. We're gonna get after some creek chubs today. I just got done working and it's literally like 50 degrees out, so it basically feels like summer right now. Man, I have been so ready to start open water fishing again. Today, all I've got with me is the ultralight, and I'm using a float rig, and the goal is just to catch some more good old-fashioned greasy creek chubs. The reason that I decided to come to this tiny creek is basically because this is about the only open water that I can fish. All of the lakes are still frozen, and then the larger creeks and streams are completely blown out because of all the snow that's melted. You know I'm not gonna complain about fishing a tiny creek though, because I just love fishing tiny creeks, and I'm really excited to catch another creek chub. It's been a while, so enough rambling about it. Let's get started. You already know that I'm gonna start with the good old-fashioned power bait honey worm on a 1/80th ounce fire red mule jig. This is creek chub candy, people. Why would I not fish it, you know? That being said, if I ever do break off, I kind of want to try one of these little Pee-wee Pete's underneath a float rig as well. We'll see. Maybe I'll be too lazy, but eventually I am going to try one of these things. You know that I have a goal to catch a 13-inch creek chub. I have no idea if it'll happen today, but we got to try. When my memory won. Oh! I was just singing some Tyler Childers, and I definitely spooked a creek chub. He wasn't very big, but I saw him dart up that away. So that's good. Good sign. That's the first fish that I've seen so far. I cannot believe this big old deep pool right here did not have some creek chub goodness. I do not understand it, but I am going to stay positive and keep moving. Because of all the snow that's melted recently, there's definitely more current here than there normally is, and I don't feel like the creek chubs really like to position in current from my experience. So maybe if I find an area that has a little bit more of a current break, I'll find the fish. Who knows? Holy crap, I scared a rabbit. Whew. He scared me too. This is not exactly going as planned thus far, but hey, it's all good. This is like the first open water trip in a long time. You can't expect it to just be easy. Historically, I have caught fish in this big deep pool right here. Come on, creek chub. Come on, cooperate. Oh. Yes, yes. We are back on the board, baby. Let's go. It's a dinky little creek chub, but I made the adjustment and actually set my bobber about 8 inches higher, and it paid off, baby. Golly, it feels good to catch something in open water. Been too long, boys and girls. It's been way too long. Man, I worked really hard for this fish. I can't believe none of the other pools paid off. All right, see ya, buddy. I'm definitely gonna have to catch that fish's great-great-great-grandmother if I want to get my 13-incher though. That fish was like a whopping 4 inches. Not even close. Now I'm snagged. Dadgummit. It's a good opportunity to show you what that fish was positioned on. Okay, so now I'm standing exactly where I actually hooked that fish, and basically what it is you've got water flowing down, and then this area right here is actually pretty protected. Obviously you can see that the current doesn't really affect this spot, and there's a bunch of like tree limbs and stuff like that in the water, and it's kind of deep. So that creek chub was positioned right here. I cannot believe that I didn't get another one right here. I honestly figured this looks like a spot where there would be like 10, 15 creek chubs, but for whatever reason, I just got the one. This next pool I've had historic success at as well, so hopefully it pays off today. There's a bite. Yes. We're getting a little bit bigger, Nothing big, but it's bigger than the last one. Got to move in the right direction, folks. Got to move in the right direction. Creek chub numero dos. This pool paid off well for me a couple months ago, and it looks like it's going to pay off again. Little dink. First cast up there though, so that's promising. I really hope this pool is loaded because I could really use some more fish. Come on. There's a bite. Yes. It just took a little bit of patience, folks. That's a beautiful fish right there. Oh, easy release. 2 fish in a row. Let's see if we can make it 3. Come on, 3. Okay. Ooh, that's a good cast. That's gonna get popped. Yes. We found an absolute pile of these guys, and I love every second of it. Now, they're all the same size, which is not exactly ideal because I'm kind of thinking that there's probably not going to be one of those big, massive 13-inch creek chubs that we're looking for. But at the end of the day, I am certainly going to take this just based on the fact that, man, it's been slow so far. So it feels good to actually crank on a few. You know, and the other thing is I haven't really float fished in a couple months, so I got to kind of get back in the groove and get my hook sets down. There's a bite. Yes. God, they're all the same size. I keep thinking that I'm just gonna hook into an absolute tank, and it just hasn't happened, and that's okay. Here's the thing. Debo's Fishing. I challenge you to make a jerkbait that looks exactly like this creek chub. I'm telling you what, I will buy it from you. I just really want a sweet custom painted creek chub jerkbait. So help me out. Hook a brother up. Debo's Fishing is a good YouTube channel if you guys haven't checked him out. I follow him on Instagram too, and he's got some pretty good skills with custom painting hard baits. I've told him once or twice that he needs to paint a creek chub jerkbait and I think I'm gonna get him to do it one of these days. We'll see. Oh my gosh, that one just torched it. That bobber actually went down. That's probably the chunkiest one so far. Similar size to the rest of them, but it's a little bit girthier. Beautiful fish, man. Just an absolutely beautiful creek chub. All right, brother. Go get big. I'm gonna come back and catch you when you're 13 inches. You know, I'm thinking about this 13-inch creek chub goal, and I really think that I'm gonna have to just hit my trout streams and fish some of the larger water, because these tiny creeks, while they have a lot of quantity, they tend not to have those big jumbo ones. That's okay. Fine-tuning the skills right now. Man, this pool is awesome. This is like my total honey hole for creek chubs. Oh my gosh, he just bobbered down it again. Look at that, man. I love this spot. I love this spot. It's my honey hole. Eventually these fish are going to start getting those little horns on their heads, but not quite yet. Just a little early yet, but once they start spawning, they get those little horns on their head. The males do. It's really cool. Definitely interesting. There's one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's just automatic. There's like a couple little spots within this honey hole that are like the extra honey hole. It's like you've got the honey hole, and then you've got the honey hole within the honey hole, and another just... Actually, that's probably my best one so far today. You know, this one's got some chunk to it. It looks like those little horns are slowly coming in. Just little tiny ones so far. They're probably going to get bigger here in a couple weeks. Interesting. Very cool. See ya, Creaky. Well, it seems that the honey hole might be running out of honey. Well, that's the end of the honey hole. I snagged a tree. Gotta go retrieve this, and I'm gonna have a tangled mess for sure. Well, this is where the magic happened. This pool right here, in about this little 5 by 5 foot section, I caught pretty much all those fish right there. Obviously, it's a good looking pool, but I don't understand why I couldn't catch fish in the other pools. This one's just got some magic sauce to it. Look at that. I hooked the very end, and now I've got this massive tangle, so that's just excellent. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bite this off, and I'm gonna tie something else on. Even though the float rig did well for me, I'm done with the float rig because I really don't feel like rigging another one up. Got this Donkey Tail Junior on a 1/64 ounce fire red mule jig. This is the black color. I'm not sure what to think about creek chubs with the Donkey Tail Junior. I do think that they'll eat it, but I will say that the little float rig is probably the most effective rig that I've found for creek chubs. There it is. It's all rigged up. You guys see how small that is? It's little itty bitty 1.6 inches, and it's gonna catch me some fish. I believe it will. Well, that's wonderful. There's just a dead duck sitting there, so that's good. That would be a needle, so that's wonderful. I don't know what a drug needle looks like, but I'm assuming that's what that is. Anyways, whatever. Don't particularly like to see that at my fishing holes, but hey, I'm gonna keep focused on the fish. Just definitely a weird thing to see. You know, I tell you what, I can throw this out there pretty darn good with this 2-pound test. There's a fish. No way. No way. This might be a trout. No? What is this? It's a big old creek chub. Looky there. Okay, well, I kind of was doubting that I was going to catch fish on this thing, but here we go. Nice. All right. Well, apparently the creek chubs do like the Donkey Tail Junior. That's what's up. I was just kind of drifting it in this pool, and this guy smoked it. I feel good. I feel really good. What I was gonna say is, if you want to be able to cast light lures, I highly recommend using really low diameter line. In particular, I like this 2-pound monofilament. There's another one. There's another one. That feels like a trout. That feels like a trout. That's gotta be a trout. That's a brownie. That's a brownie. All right. I've actually never caught a trout out here, so I'm feeling really good right now. This is epic. Okay. Okay, how about that? It's a good... Oh, no! That was stupid. That was a bad way to land him. That was such a beautiful fish. I was going to take a picture of him, so I was trying to get him up in the shallows. I was going to try to take off my glove and scoop him. He was about that long, probably like a, you know, a 13.5, 14-inch brown, but he was really beautiful. And I grabbed the line and kind of screwed that up. Oh, well, it's all good. I'll still count it. Donkey Tail Junior, both a brown trout and a creek chub. Honestly, I wasn't really planning on fishing with this today, but I'm glad I did. If I would have just brought my net with me, I didn't honestly expect... There's another fish. That's gonna be another creek chub, I think. Yeah, that's a creek chub. I didn't expect to find any brown trout today, so I didn't even bring my net because I figured it was pointless. You know, I figure with small little creek chubs like this, I'd be okay with no net. Well, you should always be prepared, I suppose, because I knew that there's always a possibility of a brownie out here. I just didn't expect it. Anyways, Donkey Tail Junior is absolutely doing its thing, baby. I'm feeling real great. I'm feeling real great. I really can bomb this thing out there though. This 2-pound test, it's money. I'm basically just twitching it a few times, reeling it, letting it drift a little bit, and then repeating. It's obviously buoyant and it's a lightweight bait. And so I like to let that bait do a lot of the work for me, but twitching it and reeling it's gonna activate that tail and it's gonna kind of shoot off the bottom. It'll look like a minnow. It might look like some type of insect larva, whatever. It's really gonna catch those fish's attention, and then letting it do its thing is really gonna make them bite. There's a fish. Such a light bite. It's just a dinky little creek chub. My gosh. I don't even know how I felt that bite. That's just straight up impressive. Beautiful little dinky creek chub. See you, buddy. I'll tell you what, I'm getting tired out here, man. I don't know about you guys, but I've been super busy with work, and it feels awfully good to get out here and fish, but I feel like my brain is about to just fail. I feel like I've definitely worked my brain just a little too hard this week. Oh, that's a snag. That's probably it for this pool. Okay, this is the last little pool that I'm gonna fish. Oh my gosh, there he is. Just a little tiny guy, he pelted it. That is such a long, slender creek chub. This guy needs to eat. He is so skinny. Usually they're kind of chunky. This guy looks ugly. Boy, go find something to eat, dude. Like I said, today was a work day, so unfortunately we ran out of time, but I am super happy with how today's fishing trip went. You know, my expectations were pretty low. I was planning on catching a couple creek chubs on the float rig. Well, we did that, and then unfortunately I snagged it up, I got that tangle, and then all of a sudden that was a blessing in disguise, and this Donkey Tail Jr. paid off. So all in all, I'd say it was a pretty darn good day, and honestly, that was the first trout that I actually hooked and landed out here, so I feel like that's awesome. And then last but not least, I better tell you what setup I was using. This is my Daiwa Revros LT1000. I love this reel. It's only like $45, which is excellent. Then I've got Berkley Trilene Sensation 2-pound monofilament on there. This stuff is really good. I like it. It's only like $9 or $10 per spool, and I would say that that's pretty solid. It's 330 yards for like 9 or 10 bucks. That's pretty good. And then I have that rigged up on the Daiwa Presso 4-piece ultralight. This is a 5'6" model. I love this thing. It's surprisingly light for being 4 pieces. Anyways, as always, I am rambling and I want to go home and eat some dinner, so we'll catch you next time.